Hello, Kids Corner. How you guys doing this week? Well, actually, it's been 2 weeks. And why wasn't I there last week? Sunday, if you came on, I wasn't there. You know what? I forgot. I forgot to post it. Did you ever forget something? It was one of those weeks. I had a terrible, horrible, no good, very bad week. And I just forgot to post it. So that I apologize, and I'm very sorry for that. And I wanted to apologize for not being there because I want to be here each week for you, and I want you to, when you expect me, I want to be here. But like I said, even as adults, sometimes we forget things, and sometimes we just have a terrible, horrible, no good, very bad week or day. But I want to read you a book. I don't know if you guys ever saw this, but this is Alexander and the Terrible, Horrible, No Good, Very Bad Day by Judith Forrest. And it's not a Christian book by any means. It doesn't have any Bible verses or anything along that in it. But I just want to go through the book with you with Alexander's day and see what happened to him and the terrible, horrible, no good, very bad day he had. So let's read the story.
Alexander and the Terrible, Horrible, No Good, Very Bad Day by Judith Forrest. I went to sleep with gum in my mouth, and now there's gum in my hair. And when I got out of bed this morning, I tripped on the skateboard, and by mistake I dropped my sweater in the sink while the water was running, and I could tell it was going to be a terrible, horrible, no good, very bad day. At breakfast, Anthony found a Corvette Stingray car kit in his breakfast cereal box, and Nick found a junior undercover agent code read in his cereal box. But in my breakfast cereal, all I found was breakfast cereal. I think I'll move to Australia. In the carpool, Mrs. Gibson let Becky have a seat by the window. Audrey and Elliot got seats by the window too. I said I was being scrunched. I said I was being smushed. I said if I don't get a seat by the window, I'm going to be car sick. No one even answered. I could tell it was going to be a terrible, horrible, no good, very bad day. At school, Mrs. Dickens likes Paul pictures of the sailboat better than my picture of the invisible castle. At singing time, she said I sang too loud. At counting time, she said I left out 16. Who needs 16? I could tell it was going to be a terrible, horrible, no good, very bad day. I could tell because Paul said I wasn't his best friend anymore. He said that Philip Parker was his best friend and that Albert Moya was his next best friend and I was only his third best friend. Well, I hope you sit on a tack, I said to Paul. I hope the next time you get a double-decker strawberry ice cream cone. The ice cream cone part falls off the cone part and lands in Australia. There were 2 cupcakes in Philip Parker's lunch bag, and Albert got a Hershey bar with almonds, and Paul's mother gave him a piece of jelly roll that had little coconut sprinkles on the top. Guess whose mother forgot to put in dessert? It was a terrible, horrible, no good, very bad day. That's what it was. Because after school, my mom took us to the dentist, and Dr. Fields found a cavity just in me. Come back next week and I'll fix it, said Dr. Fields. Next week, I said, I'm going to Australia. On the way downstairs, the elevator door closed on my foot, and while we were waiting for my mom to go get the car, Anthony made me fall where it was muddy, and then I started crying because of the mud. Nick said I was a crybaby, and while I was punching Nick for saying crybaby, my mom came back with the car and scolded me for being muddy and fighting. I'm having a terrible, horrible, no good, very bad day, I told everyone. No one even answered. So then we went to the shoe store to buy some sneakers. Anthony chose white ones with blue stripes. Nick chose red ones with white stripes. And I chose blue ones with red stripes. But then the shoe man said, we're all sold out. They may be buying plain old white ones, but they can't make me wear them. When we picked up my dad at the office, he said I couldn't play with his copy machine, but I forgot. He also said to watch out for the books on his desk, and I was careful as could be, except for my elbow. He also said don't fool around with his phone, but I think I called Australia. My dad said please don't pick him up anymore. It was a terrible, horrible, no good, very bad day. There were lima beans for dinner. I hate lima beans. There was kissing on TV, and I hate kissing. My bath was too hot. I got soap in my eyes, and my marble went down the drain. I had to wear my railroad train pajamas. I hate my railroad train pajamas. When I went to bed, Nick took back the pillow he said I could keep, and the Mickey Mouse nightlight burned out, and I bit my tongue. The cat wants to sleep with Anthony, not me. It's been a terrible, horrible, no good, very bad day. My mom says some days are like that. Even in Australia. The end.
So I hope you enjoyed that book. And one thing I want to show you is that even we all have trials, and we're all going to have trials. Just because you're a Christian does not mean that life is going to be easy, that the road is paved with gold and you're just going to just sail through life easy. When you're a Christian, you're going to go through trials, but God promises us in His Word that He's going to get us through those trials. He's going to give us strength to get through those trials. He didn't say He was going to circumvent us around the trials. He said He was going to give us strength to get through. And if we go to James, James is in the New Testament, and we go to James 1:2. God says, "Consider it pure joy, my brothers, when you face trials of many kinds, because you know that testing for your faith develops perseverance." So perseverance, again, that's a big word, but perseverance means being able to endure something over a long time. So you're going to be able to withstand it. You're going to be able to get through it. So it develops perseverance. And perseverance must finish its work so that you may become mature and complete. So when we're developing this perseverance through our trials, God says, consider pure joy because He's maturing you. He's advancing you in your faith. So if we read James 1:12, it says, "Blessed is the man who perseveres under trial, because when he has stood the test, he will receive the crown of life that God has promised to those that love him." So again, God's talking to us about persevering trials, and that it's consider it joy. And that doesn't mean you go around and say, "Wow, this is great. I'm having a really bad day and I'm loving it." But know that you have joy and you find strength that God is with you. So when I was having a no good, very bad, horrible day, a horrible week, I knew that God was going to give me the strength to get through that trial and develop perseverance and maturity in me. And so for that, I'm thankful. For that, I'm joyful. So if you find yourself, like Alexander and like me, that you're having a no good, very bad day, just turn to the Lord and say, "Help me to get through it. Help me to persevere through this trial. And help me to learn what you want me to learn, God." And try to have a good attitude through it. And yeah, you might forget to post a video someday, but just ask for forgiveness, like I asked for you guys. And then just try to learn and move on. And know that God is always, always with you. And no matter what you do, no matter whether it's good or bad, God is always there and always loving you and always giving you the strength to persevere under trial. So please remember that this week. Anyway, I hope everybody has a super week. I hope no one has a very good, horrible week or day. I hope you guys are all blessed. And I will see you next week. And thanks for putting up with me. And thanks for being here with Kids Corner. Have a great week. Thanks.